Big Jim's beliefs are finally revealed, and what we found is beyond anyone's wildest guess. Number 1. Big Jim got himself locked up on purpose. Big Jim didn't just end up in jail by accident, he may have done it on purpose. A lot of fans believe he stole candy just so he could be locked up with his best friend, Petey. It sounds silly, but there's more to it. Inside the prison, Jim noticed how badly the other cats were treated. That's when he decided to stay. Maybe he thought if he stayed close, he could protect them or make life a little easier. Some even think Jim sees the prison like the orphanage he grew up in, a sad place that needs someone kind. He's not there because he's dangerous. He's there because he cares. And if that's true, he didn't just break a law, he made a choice to become a quiet hero behind bars. Number 2. Big Jim secretly leaves prison every night. Big Jim may look like just a cheerful goof, but he's been hiding something big. Every night, he sneaks out of prison through a secret tunnel. He's not running away, he's helping. Disguised as Captain Cupcake, he teams up with Dogman and Little Petey to protect the city. Then, before anyone notices, he slips back into his cell before sunrise like nothing happened. It's not just clever, it's selfless. He's been in jail for years, even though others like Petey are already free. Jim could escape for good if he wanted to, but instead, he stays. Not because he has to, but because the other cats still need him. Number 3. Big Jim was never the real chosen one. For most of his life, Big Jim believed he had a special destiny. His parents found a strange letter from aliens and thought their son had been chosen to save the universe with the help of the Ring of Destiny. But the truth is shocking. The prophecy was never about Jim at all. The alien's message was meant for Nurse Lady, who would one day help create Dogman. Crud, who saw the alien first, lied and took the ring for himself. He gave it to Grace as a gift, and the letter was left behind. Jim's parents misunderstood the whole thing. They thought the prophecy was his, but in reality, Jim was never chosen, he just believed he was. Number 4. Big Jim was silenced by a corrupt government. Big Jim might not be in jail because he did something wrong. He might be there because he stood up for what's right. In one flashback, he's seen at a cat protest with other felines who later ended up in prison. The mayor, at the time, was known to be corrupt, and the protest may have been aimed at exposing her. Things could have turned chaotic, and that gave the city the excuse it needed to lock them all up. In the Dogman world, cats already face unfair treatment, often punished harder than dogs, so it wouldn't be surprising if Jim and the others were given harsh sentences to shut them up. If that's true, Big Jim isn't a criminal at all. He's a political prisoner, punished for trying to make things better for his community. Number 5. Big Jim and Petey grew up as brothers. After losing his parents, Big Jim was taken to a crowded orphanage. That's where he met Grace, Petey's mom, who had just been left homeless after her husband, Crud, walked out. She started working at the shelter, helping out where she could. Petey, still upset over losing his home, slowly bonded with the cheerful purple kitten. When Grace saw that Big Jim had no family, she made a life-changing choice. Even without much money, she adopted him. From that day on, Jim and Petey were raised like brothers. That bond explains everything: the loyalty, the arguments, even the jail time friendship. They aren't just cellmates, they're family. And no matter how many times Petey pushes him away, Jim stays close. Because to him, Petey isn't just a friend, he's his brother. Number 6. Big Jim's mask is actually his mother's glasses. To most people, Big Jim's superhero look is just a funny disguise. But those glasses he wears? They aren't part of a costume. They belonged to his mom. After losing his parents in a tragic car crash, Jim held on to the one thing that reminded him of her glasses. He was just a kitten when it happened, and the loss changed everything. At the hospital, he found out they were gone, and life was never the same. The glasses became more than eyewear. They became a piece of his heart, a symbol of love and loss. Every time you see him wearing them, you're looking at someone who never stopped missing his mom. Number 7. Hypnosis turned Big Jim into a true hero. The Fleas gang thought they could use Big Jim for their own plan. They hypnotized him into believing he was a superhero named Commander Cupcake, hoping to control him. But things didn't go their way. Instead of causing chaos, Big Jim actually broke out of jail and took down the entire gang by himself. The funny part? He still believed he was a hero, and he was right. Even after the spell wore off, Jim kept helping Dogman and others. The hypnosis may have started the act, but it didn't fake his heart. It only proved what was already inside. Jim didn't need superpowers or mind tricks. All he needed was the chance to be brave. Number 8. Big Jim made up his whole origin story. When Big Jim first meets Crud in jail, he tells a dramatic story about being locked up in baby jail for stealing a cookie. He described wild events, strange punishments, and even a visit from his parents while behind bars. But none of it was real. The whole thing was part of a make-believe game he used to play as a kid with his friends. What's strange is how seriously Jim told the story, like it really happened. That's what makes this detail so important. Big Jim often mixes up fantasy and reality. It's not because he's a liar. It's because he sees the world through a different lens, shaped by childhood trauma and imagination. He uses stories to cope, to explain, and to connect. So, when he shared that fake past with Crud, it wasn't just for fun. It was his way of telling the truth, the only way he knew how. Number 9. Big Jim's mind never fully grew up. Big Jim may look like a grown cat, but inside, he's still very much a child. After losing both parents in a tragic car accident, something in him seemed to freeze. He survived the crash, but the pain stayed with him. That kind of trauma, especially at such a young age, can leave lasting effects. It's likely the reason he's so emotional, so silly, and so trusting. He cries when people yell at him. He believes even the simplest lies. And he often acts more like a playful kitten than an adult. But this isn't just about being goofy. It's a sign of how deeply that early pain shaped who he became. His childish heart is a shield, a way to protect himself from the hurt he never got to heal. It explains his kindness, but also why he gets hurt so easily again and again. Number 10. Big Jim was never meant to be this important. When Big Jim first appeared, no one took him seriously. He was loud, silly, and always thinking about sweets. He made people laugh, and that was his role, just the funny sidekick. But as the story grew, so did he. Slowly, the jokes gave way to something deeper. Behind the laughter was a character with pain, history, and a huge heart. Readers started to see that Jim wasn't just there for fun. He was there to teach lessons about kindness, friendship, and staying hopeful through hard times. What began as comic relief turned into emotional weight. Now, Big Jim is one of the most important characters in the entire Dogman series. His story holds it all together. And the biggest twist? The cat, who once seemed like a joke, is now the one everyone's watching. The one who might change everything. Number 11. Grandpa Crud is the key to Big Jim's next chapter. Big Jim's time in jail took a major turn when he became cellmates with Grandpa, also known as Crud. This isn't just a random pairing. The two share a deep, tangled history that goes all the way back to the alien prophecy and the missing ring of destiny. Crud stole that ring and may have accidentally shaped Big Jim's entire life. Now, stuck together in a cell, their bond could go in two very different directions. Crud might push Jim to grow, face the truth, and become a stronger hero, or he could twist Jim's emotions and drag him down. Either way, this isn't just about friendship or rivalry. It's about whether Big Jim can break free from his past, or if he'll let it control him forever. Number 13. Big Jim still thinks he's the chosen one. Even after learning the alien prophecy was never meant for him, Big Jim hasn't let go of the belief that he's special. Deep down, he still sees himself as the one who's supposed to save the world. Some might find that sad, like he's clinging to a lie, but others see something powerful in it. Jim refuses to let go of hope. Maybe he was never chosen by an alien, but he's choosing himself, and that's what makes his story inspiring. He doesn't need a prophecy to be great. He just needs to believe he can be. Number 14. Big Jim is the heart of the Dogman universe. Big Jim isn't a genius or a fighter. He's not a leader or a legend, but what he does have is kindness, and that might be the most powerful thing of all. While others chase power, Jim just wants to help. He believes in people, even when they don't believe in him. That kind of heart is rare, and it might be exactly what the Dogman world needs. In a place full of villains, chaos, and confusion, Jim stands out as a light. If the series keeps growing in deeper directions, Big Jim could become its emotional core, the one character who holds everything together. Whether Big Jim is a hero, a fool, or both, one thing's for sure: his story will change the Dogman universe forever. So, are you ready for Big Jim Believes?